Welcome to Irise Conversation. My name is Joan Wosu, and I'm the award-winning author of the book Irise, the 10 Secrets to Getting Up When Life Knocks You Down. So they say that the way you look on the outside is a reflection of what's on the inside. But now with the explosion of social media, more and more people are under so much pressure to do whatever it takes to look good on the outside, to compete against mostly filtered photos online. Being beautiful is beyond looks. And as much as we pay so much attention to the external, we need to look inwards and really make sure that we're radiating love and giving it to our fellow humans. So today we will not only talk about the glamorous side of beauty, which is all external, which my guest is an expert in, but we will also talk about one of the greatest sacrifices that she's made to help another human survive. Nina is the CEO of Buddy at PhD, one of London's unique leading hair and beauty salons. Her salon specializes in Afro hair and also provides fitness and nutrition solutions. She also offers services ranging from hair, makeup, beauty, a lash bar, body rolling and sculpting, massages, and lots more. She's created looks for TV personalities, photographic models, bridal parties, and special events. Another thing she has is a huge following on social media, where she talks about real life issues and shares her life to inspire other people. She describes herself as a fierce businesswoman, a phenomenal hairstylist, a makeup artist, a spiritual believer, and also is very opinionated. If you don't believe her, follow her on Facebook. So with that, I would like to welcome Nina to the show.
Hey.
Hi, Nina. So happy to have you here. So you did say that you've been a hairdresser for over 30 years. So tell us a bit about the journey. How did you get started?
Totally by accident. I used to plait people's hair. So I used to plait my friends' hair and stuff after school and family members and stuff. And one of the ladies that I was plaiting, she said that her friend had a salon in North London and she was looking for a junior, so I should apply. And at this time I was only 15, so I could only work on Saturdays. So I went along, I had an interview and I really enjoyed it, and I kind of just stuck with it. I had no aspirations to be a hairdresser at all. I just liked plaiting hair. Now you can't get me to plait for love or money. I don't do plaiting anymore. But yeah, I love all aspects of hairdressing. I think I've always had a love affair with hair.
Okay, so, the show is really about people rising up against adversity, because we know life is never a smooth journey. It's all about the roller coasters that we go through. So if you look at that, what would you say is the biggest adversity that you've had to overcome?
I think the biggest adversity that I've had to overcome is my background. Really, I mean, I grew up in foster care, so I was fostered from I was 3 months old until I was 8 years old, and then I went to go and live with my mum. I lived with her from the age of 8 to the age of 15, and I think leaving home so young and not having a base, it kind of, I didn't know how much it affected me until later on in life, because I was so busy just getting on with stuff. And it wasn't until like I hit my late 30s, early 40s that it started to affect me. So I think that, yeah, my childhood was my biggest adversity that I had to overcome, I think.
So were there any lessons that you learned from that experience?
Yeah, don't have kids. None really. The lessons that, you know what, I think that I learned from that not everybody's cut out to be a parent. I thought that when you're a parent, you automatically love your children and raise your children and look after your children. That's just naturally what you do. But not everyone's cut out to be a parent, and I think that I had a lot of angst and a lot of anger towards my mum and my dad for not really playing a role in my life, but not everyone's cut out to be a parent. So I don't really blame them anymore.
Yeah, and that's true. But, the society we live in, it's always, you're born, you go to school, you get married, you have kids, and then you die.
In that order.
Not always in that order, but yeah, some people do it the other way around. but that's the mindset, and that's the conditioning that we've grown up with, and so people they must have kids whether or not they're suitable parents. Okay, so let's talk more about the beauty industry where you play. I gave a brief description on what beauty is and how we're so focused on external beauty. So for you, what is beauty? When you think beauty, how would you describe it?
I know it's a cliche, but I think beauty definitely comes from within. I think I spent a lot of my younger years trying to look older. I think that's when I fell in love with makeup. And so in my 20s, in my 30s, even in my early 40s, you wouldn't really catch me without full face, And then I started to realize that actually this doesn't define who I am. So now if you go on my social media, you won't even recognize me because there's no wig, there's no lashes, there's no makeup. It's just me in my headscarf and my dressing gown, sitting down talking my truth. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still beautiful with or without my face on. We all are.
We all are, but social media these days, you look at those pictures with all the filters and you're like,
that's something that I don't do, Joan. I don't filter. And I'm very what's the word? I deliberately post stuff without a filter. The other day I posted a video. I did my makeup and I was just there videoing myself. And I deliberately said there's no filter. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to filter my stuff. If you know your angles and you know how to put on your makeup, you don't need to filter. You don't, and it's just fake. Why? People are going to see what the real you looks like eventually. So why not just put it out there? I do it because I don't want to shock anybody.
Okay, guys, put it out there. Show up as your real self if you dare. I don't know if I would, but hey,
you wouldn't do it, John.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Let me tell you, it's so liberating.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Like you said, no, seriously, beauty is from within, and that should always radiate. And I've seen your videos without any makeup or without the wig, and for me, you still look the same. So it is true what you're saying. Yeah. So now you're all glammed up and all great. That's just to add to the beauty that already exists. It's not to transform you into a completely different person. Like, it's better to be beautiful on the inside where people can see that she has a kind heart and she's really nice, than you're all glammed up and you're just cold.
Exactly.
Like, anything, there's no emotions in you. Okay, so ask yourself, people today, are you beautiful? Like the way we've described it, are you beautiful just on the outside, or is it coming from the inside as well? Okay, so you did mention that you stumbled into braiding hair at 15, or you were braiding someone's hair at 15 and they advised you to go get a job. And then in your 20s, you decided to set up your own business. Why would you decide at such an early age to start up your own business? Why not just work for people forever?
Again, it was a complete accident. I think my whole life has been a complete accident.
That's what you're saying. It's not an accident.
It's all by design. It's all by God's design.
Yes.
But what happened was I was 24 when I first started my own business, and I was working in a salon again in North London, and an ex-boyfriend of mine used to get his hair cut in a salon not far from where we were, and the people that had that salon had a space to rent at the back, and he said, you should go see what it's like, just take that leap and rent it out. I was like, no, I can't. So I spoke to one of my good friends, Audrey, and I said, would you do it with me? She's like, you know what, let's go and have a look at it and see. So we had a look at the space and we thought, let's go for it. So we did. We started renting that space out. We had it for about 2 years and business grew. So we outgrew the space. So then we found another premises. We rented that for a couple of years. And then the first shop that we ever rented, the lease became available. So we went back and we bought the lease, and the rest is history. We've been there for 20 years.
Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. Wow. So, and I'm sure you must have been scared at that young age, someone just saying, rent the space and start. You must have been scared, but you went ahead. And
do you know what? I'll be honest with you. We were scared, but not that much. And I'll tell you why. because I had my own clientele and because the shop was like 5 minutes from where I was working, I knew my clients would follow.
Okay.
If I had to build up a clientele, then maybe it might have been a little bit scary. But because I never had to build up a clientele, I wasn't frightened.
Okay, so that's a really key lesson for a lot of people who might want to go into a business. Sometimes it might be better to go start off working for someone else in the exact same business, build your clientele, and then you know you can do the job. You know you have your clientele, and you can just move them with you. So maybe that's a good lesson for people who might want to go into business and feeling a little bit scared. Okay,
definitely.
So you mentioned Audrey. So I do know Audrey. I've met Audrey as well. You guys have been friends and business partners for so many years. A lot of my female friends, trust me, from 3 years ago, we're not even speaking anymore. That's just a competition between females. Now you've had a friend and a business partner for over 20 years. What's the secret?
Do you know what? I don't know, but Audrey's definitely the yin to my yang. We're polar opposites, completely. I'm very loud, very vocal, very outspoken. Audrey's very quiet, very subdued. Don't upset her though, because Audrey will switch. Don't be fooled by a little 5'2" stature, because when Audrey goes for gold, she goes for gold. But I think that because we're polar opposites, we kind of balance each other out. And yeah, we're more than business partners. We are friends. Like, I'm godmother to her children. We go on holidays together. I stay at her house. It's just, we're like family. Wow. It's funny, we were talking to a client today, and the client asked if we've ever had an argument. We've had loads. We've had loads, but they don't last long because we're friends. Do you know what I mean? So we always want to make up because we actually like each other.
Wow. Well, that's very rare. I'm just going to say that because I've gone into business with some friends, and not only did the business crash, the friendship crashed as well. So we're not even we're not even making money anymore. So it's very rare to be able to have a friend, maintain the friendship, and still do business with the person. And I think what you guys have is amazing. And like you said, you're polar opposite. So maybe that's the way when people are looking for a business partner, don't look for someone who's exactly like you, because I can imagine working with someone who's like me. Like, we're in trouble. There can only be one captain. The ship is
I know that I could not work with me. Audrey has the patience of a saint, because I know that I'm too much. I'm way too much. I couldn't work with somebody like me. Audrey, yeah. If I had my own way, I'd have disco lights in the salon and flat screen TVs at every section.
I want to know how Audrey felt when you were doing the whole Facebook Live and almost videoing your entire day at the salon. How was she coping?
She hated it.
But she let you do it anyway.
She let me do it anyway. But if you notice, if you look at any of my videos, you do not see Audrey. Audrey does not do social media at all. If you see Audrey, you might see the back of her head or an elbow, or you might hear her voice. But Audrey, no, she's not into the whole social media thing. She just lets me do my thing. Wow. And she sticks to her.
That's phenomenal. Your partnership works. So good.
Definitely. It does. I didn't realize how blessed I was. Do you know what I mean? I've seen businesses come and businesses go, and Audrey and I have maintained our business and our friendship for 25 years. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't realize how blessed I am, but I really am blessed.
Cool. Okay. So 25 years growing a business, you just made it sound like, it was all so easy. We just got this place and we moved to a bigger place and we grew. There must have been some challenges in growing your own business from scratch. What were some of the few, let's call them lessons, that you learned? Okay,
so when we took over the lease for Platinum, we had no idea about business. So don't forget, we're just two hairdressers that have rented 2 spaces, but we didn't really know about business, so we had a business account, but that was it. And luckily for us, at that time, like we're talking 20 plus years ago, at that time, you actually had a relationship with your bank manager. Like our one, as tacky as it sounds, our one was called John Smith, of all the names. And John Smith he was the greatest. He really, really was. When we decided that we were going to take over the lease, obviously we needed finance. So we went there and we just gave him a figure. We didn't investigate anything. We didn't know what anything was going to cost. I remember we went there and we said we need to borrow £12,000. I don't know why we said £12,000, but we just said, right, we need to borrow £12,000. And John was like, not a problem. He gave us the 12 grand. It didn't even touch the sides. Yeah, it didn't even touch the sides. Once we'd gone away and we worked out actually how much we were going to need, I was like, Orge, we're going to have to go back and ask him for some more. Orge's like, we can't. I was like, we can. We made an appointment. We went back. We told him what we really needed. And he was like, okay, we're going to have to do a business plan. And he went through the business plan with us, our projections and all the rest of it. And he approved the money and we got the money. And that's how we opened up the salon.